a $5 stuffed animal, made overseas by the million forever on demand. And for a few years in the 90s, grown adults filed them into safety deposit boxes like gold bars and called it investing. Here's the part that matters. Nothing about the bear was ever scarce. The only scarce thing in the whole market was an announcement. It was a line of text on a website saying which ones would stop being made. And one reclusive man in Illinois owned that website. He didn't have to make the toys rare. He just had to say they might be and let a rumour do the rest. This is Beanie Babies. Start with the man. Ty Warner grew up in the trade. His father sold toys for a plush company called Dakin, and Ty spent about 18 years there himself, a travelling plush toy salesman. In 1986, he went out on his own and incorporated Ty Inc. out of Illinois, a man who understood soft toys down to the seam and knew exactly what he was selling. And then 1993, at the New York Toy Fair, he unveiled the thing. 9 animals. Legs the frog, Squealer the pig, Spot the dog, a little bear called Brownie he'd soon rename Cubby. Understuffed, so they flopped and posed, about $5. Each one had a name, a birthday, and a little poem on the tag. And here's the thing you have to be fair about, because kids genuinely loved them. They were good toys. Cheap, soft. Collected the honest way a kid collects things, one bear at a time with pocket money. If the story had stopped there, it's a nice story. But it didn't. Because Warner had figured out something the toy aisle had never really weaponized. That the cheaper and more plentiful a thing is, the more you can be made to want the one you're told you can't have. The genius wasn't in the bear. It was in the distribution. Warner refused the big stores. No Toys R Us, no Walmart. Beanie Babies sold only through small independent gift shops, a manufactured shortage of places to buy an unlimited thing. Then he capped even those, and he won. A shop could get only about 36 of any character per store per month, so no matter how many existed, in front of you there were never quite enough. And then the master stroke. Every so often, with almost no warning, the Thai website would announce that a design was retired. Just a line of text, and a mass-produced $5 toy became, in everyone's mind, rare. He couldn't make the bears scarce, so he made the announcement scarce, and owned the only place it could come from. And Warner didn't have to build the rest. The buyers built it for him, for free. Price guide magazines sprang up, assigning $100 values to $5 toys, a market quoting numbers it invented. A rumour went round that shops could get only a dozen Princess Diana bears each, and people paid $300–400 for one at a mall in 1997, so a bear Ty had made by the millions. On eBay in 1997, people traded about $500 million of Beanie Babies, roughly 6% of everything sold on the whole site that year. McDonald's made tiny ones, teeny beanies, reportedly ordered 250 million of them, and adults bought Happy Meals by the dozen and binned the food to get the toy. So that's not stupidity, that's a whole country handed a story about scarcity and running with it. While the one man who could have said, "Relax, there are millions," stayed very, very quiet. And then Warner overplayed the one card he held. September 1999, the website flashed the biggest announcement yet. Every Beanie Baby, all of them, retired December 31st. The end. Panic. Bids spiked. People cleared shelves. The scarcity engine at full throttle. And then Christmas Eve, another flash. Quote, "I'm willing to put the fate of Beanie Babies in your hands." A public vote on whether to bring them back, at 50 cents a vote. An overwhelming majority, unsurprisingly, voted yes. And production carried right on. Ty still did around $800 million the very next year. You cannot retire a thing forever and then sell tickets to unretire it. The retirement was never a decision. It was a marketing event with a switch Warner held the whole time. Then the spell broke around the turn of the millennium. Pokemon arrived, the announcement stopped landing, and And the value did what a story does when nobody believes it anymore. Sales fell more than 90%. Today, about 99% of Beanie Babies sell for under $5. Thrift stores bin them at under $1. And the saddest picture of it is real, on a courtroom record. Las Vegas, November 1999. Francis and Harold Mountain, divorcing, could not agree who got the Beanie Baby collection. So Judge Gerald Hardcastle made the two of them kneel on the courtroom floor and pick the bears up one at a time until they were gone. His line, "This isn't about toys, it's about control." Two ordinary people on their knees over a pile of $5 animals they'd been told were worth fighting for. Here's where it turns quietly. Back in January 1996, right as the mania was building, Warner flew to Zurich and put about $80 million into a numbered account at a Swiss bank. Hid it from the tax authorities. Hid it from his own accountants. In 2013, he pleaded guilty to a felony count of tax evasion, agreed to a civil penalty of $53.5 million, and was sentenced to 2 years probation and 0 days in prison. He stayed a billionaire and moved the money into luxury hotels, so sit with the shape of it. The whole empire ran on convincing people that value lived in an announcement, a rumour, a website flash, a thing anyone could make more of. And the one time Warner had real value, 80 million actual dollars, he flew it to a vault in Switzerland where no announcement could touch it, and told absolutely no one. He knew the difference, and he just sold the other one. Years later, a writer researching all this found the ending at an auction house. 5 enormous bins of Beanie Babies, with a careful, handwritten inventory. Somebody's retirement fund, catalogued by hand, bear by bear, certain it would all be worth something one day. The whole lot sold for about $50. Some deck, there's always another one.